UFC 309 takes place this Sunday at 5 a.m. South African time from the legendary Madison Square Garden in New York. Me and BG have your parlay picks this time on 60 G's, baby! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to As a Betting Man. My name is Adrian, and as the text below my name suggests, I cannot afford to lose. With me this evening, breaking down the card and with your parlay picks, I have none other than the reigning defending vegan champion of the world and our resident analyst. That is, of course, Brother Gaia. Brother Gaia.
Oh, what's happening? Happy to see you, Adi.
Oh, yeah.
No lies.
Okay, bruh. So, as always, we're going to jump straight into it. We're going to start at the top of the card. And as I said in the beginning, it is UFC 309 Jones versus Miocic. So, BG, as far as the bookies go, it seems to be a foregone conclusion as to who's going to win this fight. So, BG, just before we went on, you were saying it might not be that cut and dry. So, tell people what you're thinking here, bruh.
Yeah, I've been scratching my head around this fight for the entire week, to be honest. And I would go as far as to say about 4 days ago, I was saying Jon Jones is probably going to wipe the floor with him, get the job done maybe in the second round. No, get the job done early. But as time has been going on and we're getting closer to the fight, I've been finding myself almost second guessing that thought about Jon Jones being the outright favorite. I think there's a lot of factors that's not being discussed as much as I would like for them to be discussed, and that is that this is an heavyweight. Jon Jones is carrying a different body. He does look slightly different in the way he's throwing his strikes. The movement is not the same. And there was something that I picked up over the week so far is that Jon Jones hasn't ever really knocked anyone out with one single shot. He's always just been piecing people up. That being said, the collective work of piecing people up does lead to a very devastating finish most of the time if you look at Jon Jones' record. So although I don't think he doesn't have the chance of knocking Stipe out with one particular shot, I do think that he can do it over the course of the fight. The real question for me that's making me doubt Jon Jones a little bit in this one is what does he look like in the championship rounds when it comes to heavyweight? When he's carrying this body that's 40 pounds plus more than what he was when he was light heavyweight, he's going to be able to still be that much of a dog in those heavier rounds. Whereas when championship rounds, where we know as Stipe Miocic, as we look at his record, his last 6 or 7 fights have been only against champions, and they've almost mainly gone 5 rounds. Apart from the times where he got knocked out, 3 times with DC, twice with Francis Ngannou. For Piso Verdum, Mark Anti's been beating everyone that have been champions in the heavyweight division. So I do think that Jon Jones might come up against a little bit of a mountain when it comes to the wrestling exchanges. I don't think he will be able to take Stipe down the same way he did to what's his name? Cyril Gane. Yeah, Cyril Gane. I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult. That being said, I can still see Jon Jones being the victor, but I don't think it's going to be as cut and dry as everyone seems to make it claim to be. Because also, when Jon Jones took those heavy shots in his previous fights, for example, when he fought against DC, Dominic Reyes, that was at light heavyweight. And also, Jon Jones didn't look the most Jon Jones the way we normally know him to be in those fights. So I think he's going to come up against a dog in Stipe, even though he's been out for 4 years. Stipe hasn't been out of the gym for 4 years. He's still been training during that time. He's been keeping his weight in check for most of the time. And people forget also that this fight was booked a year ago. So he was in camp for Jon Jones a year ago. You know what I mean? It's not like he hasn't been sort of active for this. So people forget, man.
People forget, man.
He's a former heavyweight champion, Stipe Miocic, and I think he's not going to let Jon Jones just throw him around as easy as everyone thinks it's going to be. I'm very excited for this fight. I need to see what the props look like, to be quite honest.
Fair play, BG, and yeah, we're gonna find out Saturday night, man. We're gonna find out Saturday night. Okay, so let's have a look at some props then. As you can see here, Jon Jones by KO TKO is W money at 2, which is quite conservative considering that it's not only betting for the winner but also for the method.
That's very true.
All of these other props are much higher priced than Jon Jones by KO. So that is what the bookies are saying is the most likely outcome here, Jon Jones by KO TKO. My
Mm.
next question then, BG, is over 2.5 or under 2.5 rounds for you?
Um, it's a very good question. I can see this going 5 rounds, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I can see it going 5 rounds. If Jon Jones isn't able to go guns blazing the way he did against Gun in the first round, and he realizes he's up against someone a lot more of a higher caliber that can also wrestle good wrestling defense. That means the fight's going to go longer than what he anticipates for. Especially if he can't get that finish in the first round or first 2 rounds. If he notices that's not going to happen, we're in for a 5 rounder.
Sure. You could really get your money's worth if you do bet the fight to go the distance.
For real.
Uh, yeah, I mean it's priced at 4.0. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see. Am I
I
sharing
see
the
it. I
right
see
page?
it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
there
I
you go.
can
Okay.
see it now. Yeah.
But then are you basically saying that it's quite certain to go over 2.5? Would you be confident in
My
saying that?
gut's telling me that my gut's telling me it's gonna go over 2.5, and the reason for that is 80. I'm not too sure if Jon Jones' knockout power will carry over into the heavyweight division. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like you couldn't knock anyone out in lightweight, light heavyweight. Excuse me. You know what I mean? A lot of his victories came from submission or TKO or unanimous decision. And Stipe, he's been previously knocked out. Yes, granted, against Francis Ngannou. DC has also put him down. We've seen those guys, but those guys hit very, and they are heavyweights. Like they're bigger than Jon Jones. They hit a lot harder than Jon Jones as well. And Jon Jones is
mm,
not famous for knocking people out. He's more famous for just humiliating you over 5 rounds, like winning 5 rounds clean and not giving you a single round. He's more known for being that dominant man, hitting you at your own kind of game. Stipe is a very
mm,
good boxer. He's competent. He's fast, and he can box going backwards as well. And I think Jon Jones is going to get a fright when he gets hit by someone who's a true 235 or 245 a pound fighter. I think he's going to get a rude awakening for that. Because I don't think anyone's hit him that hard before. And I think DC was probably the closest. Stipe knocked out DC. So, you know, he's a dog. People forget, man. Stipe is a dog. And Stipe likes to go. You remember when he fought Francis Ngannou? He knew that he couldn't get hit by Francis Ngannou. He's like, I'm gonna have to wrestle this dude, and he did it.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And he's a good wrestler as well. Not as decorated as Jon Jones, but he's a good wrestler.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you feel like, I mean, Stipe obviously a Golden Gloves boxer, but I feel like Jon Jones has the more kind of diverse array of
Yes,
attacks.
yes,
On the feet here, do you see Jon
yeah.
Jones holding superiority, or does Stipe's Golden Gloves boxing have anything for him there?
Good, very good question. And also, let us know in the comments what you think about that question. It's a very good one.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think Jon Jones is extremely creative. I just don't know if he can do the same things in heavyweight because he's so much heavier. His arms, his legs is double the size of what it was when he was fighting in light heavyweight. So even there was a moment in against fight against Gun, he threw a spinning back kick and it looked so wonky and so slow. I was like, even Jon Jones thought himself after throwing that, like, let's not throw that kick again. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think his striking is going to be as creative. Like you're going to see him throw some cool elbows, maybe, but I don't know if he's able to do it with the same kind of velocity and to do it continuously over the rounds. I think he's going to be a lot more selective with his shots this time. Whereas Stipe, this is his weight. He didn't have to cut anything. He can box the same way he's been boxing his whole life. You know what I mean? He
Mm,
doesn't have to change much in terms of like how he's going to box and the speed, for example. So I do think it's going to be a lot more equal on the feet as what people think. It's not going to be as cut and dry as what we think for Jon Jones when it comes to the feet. Just because he's so creative doesn't mean he's going to be able to
mm.
do it with a body that's twice the size it was of what it was when he was younger.
Fair point, PG. You're giving me a lot to think about here. I was coming into this one like everybody else, thinking cut and dry. Mind you, though, like yourself, bruh, you can never rule out Miocic, bruh. He's the dog of dogs. He's
Mhm.
admittedly by Jon Jones, the heavyweight goat, and you
Yeah,
don't get that title as the baddest man on the planet without earning it. So
true.
yeah, a lot to think about here, BG, but we'll come back to it when we start building our parlay. We're gonna
Okay,
go to this
okay.
next firecracker of about here in the lightweight division, where we
Yeah.
have our boy Charlie Dubronco from the Shooter Box Gym in Brazil up against the explosive Michael Chandler here. This is, of course, a rematch. Charles Olivera, the first time getting it done by second round
Mhm.
KO. Oh,
Mhm.
who do you love here, BG?
I'm obviously a Dubronco fan, you know that. I mean, the CPS reports he's a full-on Dubronco fan. In fact, I wish I had hair so I can dye my hair silver. Maybe I should do my beard silver. Come fight night, I'm gonna have
Do
silver
it, bro.
beard for the recap.
You're just gonna
yeah,
look
no.
old, bro. But okay,
um,
it's your life,
for
bro.
this one though, 80. I'm excited, man. I This one is when you were talking it when you were hyping up the fight now, giving a nice build up to it. I was actually getting goosebumps. I was like, yes, see, I'm actually sweating right now. No lies, I'm getting a bit of a sweat just thinking about it because part of me feels like I think Chandler might shock us in this one. I think he might shock us because for Chandler it's either this or there's nothing after this. 38 years
Mm,
old. If I don't win here, I can't call out Max Holloway for the BMF. If I don't win, I can't go against Arman Sarukian or Islam Makhachev for the title. So it's like, and then 38 years old as well. So you mean this is the last shot that he has. After this, there's nothing left basically. Whereas in Charles Du Bronco, being 34, 35, I think, he still has he can still go somewhere. You know what I mean? He just lost to Arman Sarukian and ice fight and number one contenders fight.
mm.
You know what I mean? So there's a
Yeah.
bit more for Charles to fight for. It's a bit more for him to, stamp his approval and say, I'm gonna beat this dude again. You know what I mean? But that being said, that first round of the first fight was so explosive. And if Chandler takes that and is a little bit more controlled with that, not as so aggressive and so heavy hunting and going for your head so much, I think he's gonna be a lot more dangerous, AD. Honestly, I think being more calculated is going to make make Michael Chandler so much more dangerous than what he's already is. And we know he probably hits the hardest in that division. Charles faltered already, but Charles survived that. And we've also seen Charles in the previous fights where if he gets rocked, he's probably going to come and beat you now. You know what I mean? You're going to have to tap him out to knock him out. Otherwise, he's going to finish the fight. If you give Charles the Bronco a chance of life, a second chance at life, you know he's going to take it with full arms. And he has beaten Michael Chandler, so he knows how to do it. I'm just thinking for Chandler making this fight everything and nothing. Like it's all in or nothing. I think that's gonna make a very dangerous Michael Chandler. And for that, that's making me have a difficult one to pick the winner.
BG, you're giving me all kinds of headaches here this evening, bro. Really. Because again, the line is saying to us here that it's not kind of a
Charles.
foregone conclusion as strong as Jones Miocic, but it's pretty strong in the favor of Charles here.
Yeah, I can see it.
But yeah, I mean, and the shit thing about this is that I do agree with everything you're saying, bro. So it's like I can't just kind of push it to the side.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah.
100%. And this is exactly also what Michael Chandler was talking about in the press conference leading up to fight night. Is that he was saying that he was working on being more patient and more calculated
Mm,
and more methodical when he's
mm,
kind of going for the finishes. Yeah. So yeah, with that in his arsenal, and like you said, it is all or nothing. So yeah, but
yeah.
there's a lot riding on this for both men.
Literally.
Yeah, again, a lot of headaches you're giving me.
Sorry,
Uh,
bruh.
yeah, yeah, this is the game, yeah. But yeah, you can see Chandler's 4.5 for a knockout, and Olivera 2.25 by sub, and that's the biggest method or
Charles.
the most likely outcome is what the bookies are saying.
What's a technical decision? What is that, AD?
That's just
What
a
do you
decision, like
oh,
points to be on points.
okay.
Yeah, and you can see that they are not thinking this is
Okay.
gonna happen. Not at all. Even
Not these
and
two
to
fighters.
not that look at the fight to go the distance and not to go the distance here is 1.08 plus. It's not even worth betting on. This fight is
Yeah.
definitely not going the distance.
Someone's getting finished.
Yeah, and they're not even pricing us in well here anyway. But PG, if okay, we'll come back to this one as well when we start building up our parlay.
Sure.
Do you have any other thoughts about this one before we move it on?
Um, yeah, I'm just thinking. I'm just keen to see if Charles doesn't come. Charles, excuse me. If Michael Chandler doesn't come out the way he said he wants to come out in this fight with that sort of cautiousness and almost be a little bit more controlled in that chaos, I think
Mm,
Charles is probably just going to beat him again because we know the style of Charles is. Charles is a go-getter. He doesn't ever really slow down or go on the back foot. He
yeah,
tries to beat you in every avenue of the fight, every second of the fight. He wants to dominate you, and that's Charles to Bronco, bro. He goes in there to beat you, not to
yeah,
decision you, to beat you. And that's the thing. That's what makes this fight so freaking dangerous for both guys. So Chandler doesn't come in the way he's describing to. he must be prepared for an absolute demon coming at him.
Well said, BG. But okay, let's keep it moving here, and here we go to the poster boy of the UFC in the middleweight division. Where Dricus is, of course, the champion. But here we have Bo Nickall, 6-0. Like I said,
Yes,
the
sir.
UFC poster boy. He's been on a bit of a tear in the UFC, crunching tomato cans at will. But this time he's coming up against bit more tough opposition here in
Mm.
Paul Craig, seasoned veteran in the game. Of course, a jiu-jitsu wizard, and yeah, nothing to play with. So I've been excited about this one all week in terms of the betting line, BG.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts here, bro?
Yeah, because you were going nuts in the group chat over this fight. That's all you've been talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, AD could not stop talking about this fight the whole week.
Paul Craig,
Paul
nice sub, but we'll get into that.
Paul Craig. Yeah, I think Nickall needs to be very careful here. Hey, I don't think he can go in there and just like starch people the way he's been doing in the past few fights he has in the UFC. Because he is up against someone like you say, he's a higher caliber, heavier fighter coming from a heavier weight, coming down into this weight as well. And Paul Craig has beaten people who were champions not too long ago. Jamal Hill, one of them, remote top of my head.
Mm.
I can actually just pull up Paul Craig's list of people here, but he's literally
Round
beaten
three or so, and he
top.
tapped Uncle Live.
Look there. And
Yeah,
these are fighters today we're considering as like the elite of the UFC, and he beat them already. I mean, broke
yeah,
Jamal Hill's arm. So what
yeah.
I'm saying is that I don't think Bo Nickall is going to steamroll this fight the way he's been steamrolled in other fights or his previous fights. Especially, I was keen to hear what he said in the press conference when they asked him, when you take down or if you take down Paul Craig, are you going to be confident enough to stay in that guard with him, because he's obviously one of the most dangerous guys in these two divisions of middleweight and light heavyweight when it comes to the jiu-jitsu aspect of the game. And he was like,
Mm,
if it's there, he feels he can hold his own. He feels that he's been his whole life, and also because he's been training with Jon Jones for so long, he feels that he can hold his own and actually, you know, power through the jiu-jitsu exchanges. I was thinking this 80 earlier in the week, and I was thinking to myself, maybe, and this is why I haven't really responded to much of the messages in the group. Maybe I think the vibrance and the youth of Bo Nickall may actually get him through this fight. May just get him through this fight, but that's like a very big maybe. Because damn it, Paul Craig can submit you from anything when you get to the ground.
mm,
It's very frightening actually. If he gets any one of your limbs, whether it's a forearm, your shoulder, if he gets your leg or anything, he's gonna look to secure submission very quickly. And I think Bo Nickall must just be very careful of that. Bo Nickall's just a very good, strong wrestler. I don't know what his jiu-jitsu looks like. So um all that being said, though, I am still going to tip it towards the younger fighter, to be honest to you, just because if they end up standing, I think Paul Craig might be a fish out of water when it comes to standing there, and I think Chronicle might just knock him out when it comes to that.
absolutely agree there, BG. So yeah, like I said, the
Oh,
bookies aren't really, yeah, yeah.
look at that!
Um, It's yeah, I think Bo Nickel is the biggest favorite on the card. So I mean, yeah, all signs are leading towards a Bo Nickel victory here. And I do agree with you there. If it does stay on the feet, I feel like Bo Nickel does have the superiority there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I look for him to kind of employ the same strategy that Baralio employed against Paul
Mm,
Craig, and just kind of like throw hammers at him, and
yeah,
once when he goes down, avoid him, stand him up, and just knock him out like that. Because yeah, the
literally.
man's, I don't want to say he's got nothing on the feet, but at this level, that's pretty much the case. He doesn't really have anything for these oaks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I, but then again, Bo Nickel's bread and butter is wrestling, and
Yes.
if he does come up against any kind of adversity, he's gonna go straight to that. So I'm hoping that he does try to wrestle. Paul Craig catches him in a guillotine, triangle, armbar, something like that. As they're going
Got a
down.
question for
Yeah,
you, and
go.
a question for the audience members out there. Do you see Paul Craig having the ability to take down Bo Nickel?
I don't think so, unfortunately.
You see, that
Um,
changes a lot to the
yeah,
dynamic of the fight.
I
Changes
think it's
the
gonna be more of like Ponycle takes him down and he's gonna pull guard on him as he's going down, or maybe like gets him in a clinch and tries to pull guard on him from there. But nah, I don't see Paul Craig unfortunately
taking
having
him down.
the minerals to take
Yeah.
Ponycle down. Yeah,
And you
he's too
see,
strong.
sorry, and that for me, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, bro, but that there for me is why I'm tipping into Bo Nickel. Is because Bo Nickel, pretty much because he's quite strong. He literally he's nice, he's filled out, he's young, he's vibrant. And I think because I don't see Paul Craig taking Bo Nickel down, that simply means that the owners or the driver's seat is actually belonging to Bo Nickel now, technically. You know what I mean? Because we know that he's a bit of a better striker than Paul Craig. And
Mm,
if Paul Craig can't physically actually take him down, then that means Bo Nickel can actually move the fight into where he wants it to go. Just don't go
mm,
to the ground, obviously. Where you know what I mean. So
yeah.
that's why I'm tipping it slightly towards Bo Nickel. Just for that reason, I think he might be able to just outmuscle Paul Craig.
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair comment because I'm inclined to agree with that. I'm gonna sprinkle something on Paul Craig by submission just because I think there is the possibility of it happening and it's
Look
very
at
well
those
priced.
odds.
So I definitely got to put something on that. But again, we'll come to that a little bit later. As you can see, Bo Nickel by KO TK is 1.67. So that's like
Mm.
they're saying this is highly, highly likely to happen.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, not really much to go on here except for that Paul Craig sprinkle. So BG, I think we can keep it moving.
Yes, sir.
And here we're gonna go to the women's flyweight division where we
Hmm.
have Viviana Araujo and she's taking on Karin Silva.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, Karin Silva on quite a tear since she's gotten into the UFC. She's been finishing her fights.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's looking like quite a prospect. So do you think Vivian Araujo has anything for her here? Can she gatekeep here, so to speak?
I'm not too sure about that, AD. I think Karin Silva is not only is this tear just hype, but she is actually that good. Like she's phenomenal, not only in striking. You can tell when someone's really good by how confident they stand in their stances and how they move when they're in their stances, and how relaxed they usually are, how relaxed they are in the fight. So because of that, I think Karin Silva is just riding a wave of the takeover. And I think Viviana is going to be in for something here, to be quite honest. Viviana's best chance of winning the fight is to keep it standing, obviously, because I do think she's got some very good hooks on her. I think she's got a very good striking game. I just parry out for her. I just worry for her, excuse me. Yeah, if she gets sucked in, if she gets sucked into the what's the word I'm looking for? The hypnotism of Karin. Because Karin fights that way. The way she moves fighters in the octagon, she almost hypnotizes you. You don't know that she can actually fight that well. She's got very good kickboxing, and then also when you go to the ground, she can tap you out from very awkward submissions. This is a Brazil fair, all affair, so we know it's going to be a barn burner from the first second. You know how they like to go at it. I
Mm,
just think that Viviana, it's a very good test for Karin. Definitely a very good test for Karin for sure. But I just think Viviana might come up a bit short. I don't know if either one of them are going to get the finish, even though Karin is known for finishing her fights. And we know you just said it, well. I just don't know if she's going to get it done here. I think they might just go all the way. But she's going to put in a performance of a night, definitely.
mm. Again, can't disagree with you there, BG. As you can see, the fight is quite low on the pricing here in terms of it going the distance. So that's again looking like the most likely outcome.
Mm,
Also,
mm.
just to add to that, Karin Silva is the overwhelming favorite here. So
I
yeah, it's
see.
looking like you might want to go Silva by decision. You can double
Look
your
at
money potentially
Desimadu
there.
Silver by KO 9.
Yeah,
Oh,
crazy, right?
sick. Sick.
Yeah, so
Don't know if
there's a
that's
lot
possible.
there's a lot of money to be made on this card, but it's not really like we've been playing in the last 2 weeks, kind of conservative.
Yes.
This is more of a like underdog one hitter, and that's your one hit that's
Yeah.
gonna make your
Yeah.
bank for the evening.
Yes.
So any final thoughts here? Would you
Yeah.
agree Silver by decision would be the most likely outcome here, or
Most likely as outcome. But if there is a stoppage in this fight, it's probably going to happen in the second round, and it's most likely going to be Karin Silva by submission. If there is a finish.
all right, so something to keep in mind there, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, let us know in the comments how does Karin Silva get this one done, since it seems to be quite a foregone conclusion here. Or maybe you have a
Shocking.
different opinion. Maybe Araujo gets done. And please let us know how you think that happens. But anyway,
Hmm.
BG, we're going to go to a catchweight bout now where we see Mauricio Ruffy come up against James Llontop. Um,
Yep.
not too much that I can say about these two gentlemen. I've never seen either of them fight, to
Yeah,
be honest with you. So BG, do what you do, bro, and
that's so shocking.
inform the people.
On your screen, it's showing catchweight bout, and on my screen, it's showing lightweight bout.
Is it?
For
So
the
what
same
is
thing,
it then?
yeah. I don't know. We're looking at the same thing. So interesting. Okay, so for this fight, I have not seen James fight, to be quite honest. From what I could tell, he's a bit of also a firecracker in the octagon cage. But I don't know much about his style, to be quite honest. But Mauricio Ruffy, I have seen before. Really good boxer. He fights almost similarly to Caio Baralho. That's because he's fighting not the same camp as Caio Baralho, fighting nerds. So you know what
Oof,
kind of style
shout
they're
out.
going to bring. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if you look at Mauricio's fights, like this dude, he's what he does really well. You know how Sean Strickland can walk people down and never really get tired by doing it, and then he always just keeps you in his distance. Maurice Rufi does it also the same way. He knows how to keep his opponent going backwards, but staying in his range almost all the time. And I think that is a very masterful thing to use in the UFC. Um, he doesn't wrestle that much. He's not necessarily the guy that likes to grapple. He's strictly a stand-up kind of fighter. So you can see look at the record 10-1. So he's pretty notorious for just going out there and standing and banging with guys, just looking to knock people out. That's his go-getter. That's his style. So if I'm gonna give you a pick, I'm obviously gonna go with Mauricio Rufi as the winner, but I want to say that one with a pinch of salt, just because I've not personally have done enough tape research on James Llontop. I can't even say his surname properly.
Mm.
But
Well,
look there, look what the props are
yeah,
saying.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So yeah, but pretty much the second biggest favorite on the card, barring Bo Nickel. So yeah, I mean, if you look at the lines here in general, bro, look at this, look at Jones, look at Nickall, look
Mm,
at
mm,
Olivera. Olivera is like acceptable, but these
yes.
others are just pure garbage, bro. So yeah, I mean, all signs are looking like a Ruffy win here, Ruffy win.
Yeah, yeah. So
Any you want to take a gander as to how he gets done?
knockout, bro.
KO.
Knockout. Yeah, either first round or second round knockout.
There you go. Well
That's
priced
Rufi's
for that.
buzz. That's what
Mm,
he does.
well priced for that, for
What does
sure.
it say there? What does it say in the third round? Go down quickly to the props. It said something there now. Round three.
Yeah, 6.5, but down one is
Yeah.
three.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say either round one or round two he gets it done. I don't know about round three.
Lot to think about
Yeah.
here. So yeah, BG,
I
like I
would
said, you
say
give him. Yeah.
props, safe bet, round two. Rufi get the job done round two.
Okay. So yeah, I think let's get around to that now. And
Okay.
we can begin with our parlay builder here. Just
Let's
before
do
we
it.
do that, of course, another fight that I just want to kind of bring attention to here is Jonathan Martinez and Marcus McGee.
Oh yeah, they also
Um,
on the squad.
yeah, they are the feature bout on the prelim, so that should be quite an exciting one. Jonathan Martinez,
Mm,
of course, quite a well-known name around the
yeah.
UFC. So it's very interesting that he's fighting on the prelims. And then of course we have Chris Weinman and Eric Anders, two legends in the game. So yeah, and then speaking of legends, we also have Jim Miller a bit
Oh
further
my
down the
word.
card.
He's
So
fighting
yeah.
Beavis from Beavis and Butthead.
So a lot going on. We have Tibura on the early prelims
Lawson.
fighting Jonathan Deniz, who was supposed to fight Derek Lewis a few weeks ago. Also Mickey Gall. So yeah, maybe
Uh,
worth waking up early for this one. Um,
what time is the early prelims? Oh,
1
1
a.m.
a.m. 1
Yeah.
a.m.
But we'll
Mm,
see. We'll see how we go with that. As you know, here in South Africa, we are not blessed with the best time zone in terms of the UFC schedule. But anyway, BG, let us get down to the business end
let's
of
do it.
our show here. So as always, we're going to start with our parlay builder, and based on the card in general, I just want to hear one or two, maybe three things, if you like, that you think are absolutely certain to happen. So fights going the distance, somebody
Mm.
winning by KO, that kind of thing. What can you
Okay.
tell me here, BG?
From is this including prelims and early
All of
prelims
it,
or
yeah.
just mainly?
Anything you want.
All right, let's start from the bottom, making our way up. So I'm gonna scroll from the bottom of the card on the UFC page. Veronica Hardy versus Eduardo. Um, I see that going the distance, and I know Veronica Hardy seems to be the more well-known fighter, but don't know. Hey, I think she might come up against someone that's bigger. So
Mm.
that fight's going the distance there. I don't know if Hardy's going to get the
Yeah,
submission.
unfortunately, no props on you. Just straight money line. So
Oh,
can't bet you
really? Okay,
the
no
distance,
props there.
unfortunately. Yeah.
So let's start with Chris Weidman and Eric Anders there. Ah, sorry, Jim Miller and Damon Jackson. Is there anything for them?
Nah, I think all the prelims will probably just be money line.
All right, so let's go to the
It'll
main card.
probably open up closer to fight night.
All right, all right. So main card. Let's go to the main event of Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic.
Okay.
This fight is so difficult for me.
I think you mentioned that gut feeling is over 2.5 rounds.
Yes, yes. That's probably the one thing for sure. I see the fight playing out. I don't know
Hmm.
so much about how the person wins in terms of like if there's going to be a stoppage. But I can definitely see the fight going all the way, 5 rounds. Like that.
So,
That's what I feel is what's going to happen.
bruh, because I mean, over 2.5 is 2.10, and that's magical on
That's
on a
double.
card like this in terms of a parlay. If you put this on a parlay, this is a nice kicker. So if you're happy to go with that, bro, I'm happy to put it on.
Okay, yeah. It's just,
Okay.
it makes the most sense for me, man. I don't know if John's going to be able to put Stipe away. I don't know if he can do it. But I can
Okay.
see him winning over 5 rounds. I can see him beat Stipe over 5 rounds, though.
Okay. So I think in terms of being conservative here,
Mm-hmm.
we'll just go to 2.5 rounds over for that one.
Okay.
And then we'll slide down to this
Let's do the
absolute barn burner, Charles
scary
and
fight.
Michael. Yeah.
It's going to be a violent fight, I can tell you that much.
Anything you wanna gander on? Yeah.
Um, Probably the biggest gamble, but it also can be the most likeliest outcome for me is a round one knockout of Charles Oliveira done by Michael Chandler.
So Chandler in round one.
Yeah, to win by knockout.
I think let's save that for its own kind of.
Okay,
We'll do that as a separate bet.
okay,
For now, I just want to kind of go for more certain things. So,
okay,
like, try and keep it in the realm of like between 1.3 and 1.9, I would say.
okay. Chris
This
Weidman
2.5 though, I like. Yeah. Chris Weinwood, Eric Anders. They
is
are
nothing on
props here.
them. Oh,
There's
there are
props
props
here.
on that. I can see Chris Weidman. Some other fights not going to the distance.
You
Is
don't think it's gonna go the distance?
I think it's gonna go the distance. Yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely
that's
think it's
quite
gonna.
well priced.
Yeah, that's gonna go the
Um,
distance.
okay, happy to
Is
do that.
Weidman the underdog in this fight?
Yeah, just about. It's pretty much a pick 'em here, but
Uh,
he is the slight underdog.
I think he's gonna win on this fight. This is the retirement fight. He's gonna want to go out on the bank, so I think he's gonna win the fight. I don't know if he's gonna be able to knock out Andres. Andres is he's tough. He's not a good fighter, but he's hard to put away.
Okay.
Um, so I think it's gonna go. Weidman's just gonna out wrestle him, grapple him for 3 rounds, try and ground and pound him. But Andres is gonna defend it, but not really give any offense. And for that reason,
Mm,
he's gonna lose the fight by decision. And Weidman's gonna be winning on his retirement fight.
nice. Okay, so this is 3.23. So
Okay,
far we can
I
keep
think we
going
can
if
do
you want
more.
to. Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
yeah. We can definitely. I think Jim Miller is gonna beat Damon Jackson for sure. Probably, probably even tap him out round one or round two.
For sure, you say.
Yeah.
Oh, that's massive. So we go Jim Miller on the money line,
Yes,
just
to win.
to win. Yeah.
Yeah, just to win.
That's magic. That's magical already, bro. That's 7.92% money. So let's just add that
And
quickly.
Marisa Luffy
Miller.
obviously to win, but that's not gonna push your odds up by much.
Let's see.
But that's a definite win for Mauricio. There,
Ruffy.
1.11.
So we add that. Takes us to eight. Yeah, this is not bad. I'll take it.
Okay.
We'll take Mauricio Ruffy. Um,
Mm. I think that's probably the safest. I want after that. I won't really want to. I'm not gonna. I'm not too convinced after that. 80.
okay, I'm very happy with those picks though.
Yeah.
So
Other
give me
fights is gonna
go.
be too much of a gamble. Too much of a
Seal,
gamble.
Luffy, and that's money line. Okay, give thanks, BG. I'm also quite excited with those picks. So we're gonna
Good.
lock those in. Just putting them up on the screen for you, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to ride with us, just a reminder that we are 2 in 2, and we are on our way to millions and millions of rands one of these days. So if you want to jump on now, it's the best time. Okay, so yeah, very happy that is our conservative parlay for the week, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, please give us your thoughts,
Yeah.
and of course, if you are riding with us, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. But okay, BG,
Hmm.
let's now get a bit let's get a bit loose and let's see what we
Hmm.
got here. So yeah, of
Is this
course, like
props? Is this
yeah,
props now? Okay.
anything you want. This can be anything you want. Just whatever you think is a nice possibility of happening. Like I said, I am firmly in that
The
Paul
conservative.
Craig. Nah, nah, nah. We're
Oh.
going a bit liberal now. We're going a bit aggressive. So I like
Oh.
this
Okay.
Paul Craig by submission. Like I said, I'm gonna sprinkle on that.
Mm,
So,
mm,
ladies and gentlemen, if you are feeling lucky this weekend, you
mm.
can lock in Paul Craig by submission. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna put that up on the screen to confirm. So that's Paul Craig by submission
Yeah,
against
that's
Bo
a really
Nickall.
good gamble. Really good gamble to make, just because that's the only way that Paul Kay can win the fight. So
Yeah,
if
and
he that's the only chance he has, then why not put that money on it? You know what I mean? That's his path to victory.
yeah, and my thing is, bro, like I was saying in the group chat all day, that takedown and that wrestling of Bo Nickall does kind of lend itself to
Mm,
Paul
mm,
Craig's jiu-jitsu game. So it's not like I'm just kind of putting it out there and hoping for the best. Like I can see it happening, man. So
yeah, yeah.
pretty happy to put some money on that.
It's quite
And then
safe.
the other, I mean, it's unlikely, but it's if it if it's possible. It's
Mm,
there's a
mm,
way that it happens in my mind. So that's all that I need really.
yeah.
Um, and then the other one that I liked that you mentioned earlier was Chandler.
Yes. I was just gonna go
And
to that one next, actually.
mm, so Chandler
Yeah,
in the first round.
TKO.
Okay, so we go Michael
That's probably
Chandler.
his best chance. Yeah, it's probably the best chance is round two. Excuse me, round one is where he's probably gonna probably get it done. But um, I can see him doing it in round two as well. But I think round one is the most likeliest that it's probably gonna happen if he gets a knockout. If he doesn't get it in round one, I think he's gonna struggle to get away, get Charles out of there.
So if you want to kind of split out the risk, we could just go Chandler by KO.
Yeah. Oh, then you don't choose the round.
And this is a 5 round fight, eh? I mean, it's probably not going to go anywhere near that, but yeah, you can just go Chandler by KO
Yeah,
anytime in
that's
the
a
fight.
very good. That's 4.5. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not bad at all, bro. Not bad at all. So yeah, I think I'm happy to put that on as well. We're gonna go Michael Chandler by KO against
What's for Charles? Where's Charles and stuff? Let's see, Olivera. Mm, round four is the Charles to win in the round two. Very
so
likely.
that's round betting, and then this is method.
Mm, Olivera by sub. It's also very likely. I can
Yeah,
definitely see Charles in the round two or
I
round
mean
three.
2.25 or so, bro. Yeah, I think let's see if we can go over under maybe.
Yeah. Are they over unders?
Yeah, I think there's an over under for 2.5 here also. Yeah, so over 1.5 or under 1.5.
yo, yo,
That's a hell of a
that's
call. That.
ladies and gentlemen, just gamble responsibly, please. Yo, this betting can make you splurge all your cash.
Yeah, but yeah, tell me about it. and I cannot afford to lose, like I keep saying here, bro.
Over 1.5, yeah. Even though I'm saying Michael Chandler to get a knockout in round one, um, I can see them going past the first round, at least, and
The over
then maybe
1.5 would mean like it has to get to 2 rounds. So we're
it
gonna
has to
go
go
to a
into
third basically.
yeah, it has to end round two, no?
If we go
You have
over 1.5, then it has to go to a
to
third
round
round
three.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
If we go under, then it's obviously less than two.
I think
So
Michael Chandler by knockout, and then over 1.5.
nah, it's either one or the other year.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Michael. I like Michael Chandler by knockout. It plays better.
Mm,
This would
let's
be
give
nice
it.
to put on another parlay. I think.
Yeah, yeah. Agreed.
Um. So yeah,
If
maybe we
we
can
if we
just.
strictly if we strictly maybe just do an over and under parlay, like only,
Mm,
then maybe that can fall in there.
okay. So if we were gonna go, you said over, no?
Mm.
Okay. I think let's do this one, and then we can just do any other quick picks that we want to do.
Okay.
Anything you want to say about Jonathan Martinez and Marcus McGee? Yeah?
I think Jonathan Martinez is gonna piece up Marcus McGee, to be honest. Probably tip him a few times. Might even win the fight that way, to be quite honest with you. So I'm gonna go Jonathan Martinez to win the fight, and actually win it by stoppage, not by decision.
This is crazy. Look at this. The fight to go the distance and the fight not to go the distance is a pick 'em here.
You sure that mightn't be a typo or something? Like a
It
mistake.
is, bro. Jonathan Martinez, Marcus McGee. I don't know what to make of that, to be honest. But
Yeah,
to be honest, when I saw this fight, I was also in the Martinez camp. So I'm happy to also sprinkle maybe just a little something, something here. So we go 1.5 rounds in the Bronco, and we go Jonathan Martinez.
by stoppage.
And by
Yeah, I think
knockout.
I think he's gonna stop McGee. Martinez is good. Martinez is good. He was just a participant when he fought Jose Aldo. I think he was a bit too starstruck in that fight when he fought Jose Aldo in his last outing. But prior to that, beating Adrian Yanez, who's one of the hot prospects in that division of the bantamweight. I thought he fought fantastically in that one as well. And that pretty much because if he didn't beat Adrian Yanez, he wasn't going to get Jose Aldo in the next fight. So you know what I mean. What that indicated to me was that Martinez was actually on his way to doing what like Mario Batista is doing now. Going out there and
Mm,
taking on some killers. So I think Jonathan Martinez is just one win away of becoming a more recognizable figure in people's eyes in the sport. So I think Marcus McGee, I think
I
he's
think
into
what I'm gonna
something.
do here, bruh, is I'm gonna go Martinez.
Okay,
So we go.
that's nice.
I'm just gonna put that Olivera versus Chandler. That's
Yeah.
over 1.5, and then we go Jonathan Martinez, and
What's
that's
your
on the
thoughts
money
on
line.
what's your thoughts on Marcin Tybura and Jonathan Dinez?
I don't know what that one meant because it's heavyweights. I do think Tabuda has the technical striking advantage there, but I just don't know with
Mhm.
heavyweights, bro, what to expect there because
Too much
it
of a
could either,
risk.
yeah, it could be any either one, either guy could get knocked out, or they could just end up gassing out, and then we have like two uncles fighting at a bar kind of thing,
Facts.
just very sloppy and not really something anybody needs to see. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of trying to avoid that fight.
Okay, okay. No, let's not
Yeah,
go there. Let's not go there then.
but we'll also go
Um,
Oliveira and Chandler over 1.5, and then we're gonna go Jonathan Martinez on the money line. But PG, I think we need to wrap this up. We are running
overtime, yeah, yeah, yeah,
over
yeah.
time here, so very well as quickly as you can. Any other flatters that you are thinking
I was
could
just
happen?
looking right now, and yeah, I'm going to reserve my opinion for the rest of the card. AD, there's just too many unfamiliar faces. I know that the boys at TNT Sport, with Michael Bisping and Catrol and what's it, Pete? What's his name? Nick Pete. I know they were blowing smoke up Oban Elliott's name for this card because I mean he's from Wales. Obviously, they got highlighting all the fighters fighting out of United Kingdom. So
Yeah.
um, he might be a name to watch on the card just because they have a very close eye on these fighters. So pay attention to
Mm.
that.
Mm. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do a bit more research. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, we will keep you updated if anything changes. So just to remind you of our parlays, there's Jones Miocic over 2.5, Windham versus unders to go the distance, Jim Malone on the money line, and Mauricio Ruffy to get it done also on the money line. We
Yeah.
also have Paul Craig by sub, Michael Chandler by KO, Olivera and Chandler to go over 1.5, and Jonathan Martinez on the money line. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comments what your thoughts are on the bets. If you're
Let's
placing
go.
any bets this weekend, please remember to gamble responsibly, but also please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, from myself, BG, and all of us here at the CPS Reports, have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you on the other side.
Damon! 60 G's!